Welcome to Sunday in the Heights with Dolly. I'm Will Arsh.
And I'm Caitlin Lee Reed.
This is the Music Theater History Comedy Podcast, which sounds just like 4 nouns in a row. And it is.
It is. That's the truth.
But we got a lot more nouns than that. We got a lot coming. Caitlin, how are you?
I'm good.
I had fun
chilling.
Singing with you 2 weeks ago.
We did. We sung. Yeah, you sang and played piano.
I didn't sing.
You sang a little. We had sing-alongs.
Oh, yeah. The Les Mis songs. We've got new microphones. We worked out the sound issues from last time. So,
yeah, I'm in it's a fancy microphone, but it also, I feel like I have like a cage situation, or I'm in like Warhorse right now.
I feel like you're blowing Warhorse right now. It's like
Good.
dangling in front of your face. It's Julie Taymor's robot sex vision.
Oh, God.
Got correction corner to start with. We're not experts and we say whatever we're thinking, which is often wrong. So Hotspur's Henry the Fourth Part 1, not 2. The thing connecting Cats and Company, this totally hit me. They're both anthologies of material. Because you mentioned how yours, like how Company was like 11 plays already, and then they had to figure out how to string them all together with a through-line story. It's the same thing with Cats. They had all these poems, then they had to figure out what the through-line story is. Grisabella, which, by the way, what has happened since the last time we recorded?
I was going to say, we got to talk about this trailer.
The Cats trailer has come out, and it's much fancier than a trailer. It's more like a mansion. This looks very expensive.
Yeah, I'm actually really into this because, as we discovered last week, I don't really know a lot about cats. It's never been my thing, so I'm ready to experience this, like whatever dystopian version is going to happen.
It does look dystopian. It definitely looks... somebody mentioned that it looked like Burton-esque, which I thought is a good way of doing it. But, a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber stuff is dark when you get down to it, especially Phantom of the Opera Part 2. Love Never Dies. I think for this one, it's great to see Judi Dench back in it.
Yes.
Because remember, we all know that she has a long history with cats. And, of course, everybody knows that Jennifer Holliday can sing the Torch song.
Oops, Hudson.
What did I say?
You said Holiday.
Well... She was bequeathed the torch by Holiday, who's probably still singing and doing amazing things. Actually, I've seen her I saw her online, yeah. You can still see her doing stuff online.
Oh, yeah, you can get that original Tony performance.
And obviously everybody's talking about the way they look.
Yeah. Am I the one who actually wasn't that creeped out by it? I
was creeped up by Jennifer Hudson's face when they zoomed in, but I know sometimes the trailer isn't the final rendering. So they could still be working on it. It could be a quick rendering.
Can I add more hair? Like, it was just patchy. That's what...
I don't know.
Creeps it out.
But the woman that's the star that's playing White Cat, whose name I think is Victoria, she's a famous ballerina. Oh. She's beautiful. People are upset that her cat is white, but she is black.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You don't want to weigh in on that.
I don't feel like I'm educated enough to know if representation matters even when you're in full costume or not. So I will let the experts care about that. But I'm really excited to see what the script is that they've made for it, because it looks like it has talking.
Right, that's the whole point, right? They've added more plot to it.
Much more. Okay, it looks like, it's the same plot of like, are you going to be reborn? And I hope that whoever wants to be reborn is reborn. I bet Victoria wants it, but Grisabella gets it because she's the sympathetic character, and Victoria's like, you go, girl. Well, I don't know why Victoria wants to be reborn anyway. She's clearly like a kitten. She's like, I'm thinking too much about this, aren't I? Well,
really into it.
But at least people pointed out what I said before, that cats is fucking weird. That when you get down to it, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
People dressed as cats singing about being cats. The other correction, Hammerstein himself wrote Showboat. Not his father. It was his grandfather that had been a big-time producer, Oscar Greeley Clendenning Hammerstein II.
Oh, that rolls off the tongue.
It does, and I bet he did too. And the show that I mistitled is For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide, When the Rainbow Is Enough, which is having a revival coming up soon. So we can finally go see that.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. And your corrections now, Caitlin?
Yeah, I know. I didn't do any corrections. I don't really... I mean, I didn't have a lot of facts. I'm sure they were wrong. Like, this is just... You
had facts.
I have some facts.
Yeah, we learned about Dean Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People learned a lot about Elaine Stritch.
True. There we go. So it may be... I think it's correct information. It's correct according to the internet. So... I'll bring corrections next time, and I'm sure I'll have incorrect things to say today.
That's our job.
Here for. Yeah.
When you get down to it. All right. Do you want to go first?
No, you go for it. I want to be incorrect later.
All right. So the show I'm doing is Gypsy. All right. Let's see how this goes. So. What is it? It's a musical loosely based on the memoirs of Gypsy Rose Lee. She was a stripper. Music by Jule Stein. Lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. Book by Arthur Laurents, who we shat on last time. By the way, the one rule of the podcast, don't shit on the living. Shit on the dead or their graves. It's the story of a vaudeville family act run by a driven stage mother, Rose, that loses its star, June, when she runs off with the dancer, Tulsa. Rose, determined to make things better than ever, decides to turn their untalented daughter Louise into a star. It never really works out, and during what is supposed to be their last gig, Rose convinces her daughter Louise to go on for a stripper that's been arrested for being a sex worker. Don't know if you knows that detail. This decision causes Louise, now known as Gypsy Rose Lee, to become a big star in the burlesque circuit and distance herself from her mother, who has a nervous breakdown when she's shunned by Louise, and it's the greatest nervous breakdown in song ever.
Yes. Agreed.
I can watch that song anytime. So what's the deal with this show? Well, Gypsy was a real person who really did start in vaudeville with her sister June. June Havoc. June first went on stage as the world's tiniest toe dancer. Want to guess what age?
5.
2.5.
Oh, no.
2.5, she was on stage. I can't imagine that show was very good.
Yeah.
I don't like being around 5-year-olds, much less half of that.
Were her toes the tiniest, or she was the youngest?
Maybe they did the sort of thing where they're like, she's 40, and then she comes out and it's her, and then you're supposed to be like, wow, it's like the Munchkins, right? Or something like that.
I'd watch that show.
There's no footage of it because it was from like essentially the time when electricity began.
We're going to fact check that. I'm going to do the correction corner on that.
No, I'm not bothering with that one. That one's just wrong. June was taught to read by stagehands. She never got any education. I just find that amazing. Like, what are you reading? The prop list?
Yeah.
And she eloped with Bobby Reed, a dancer in their act, in 1928 after a brief performance in Topeka, Kansas. So that must be where they got Tulsa. They were probably called him Topeka originally, and people were like, you can't have a dude named Topeka. So they renamed him Tulsa. And that, because in the show, June goes off with Tulsa. And she actually had a whole new career doing marathon dancing and a little bit of movie stuff. So that's what she did.
What is marathon dancing?
Oh, it's what Steel Pier is all about.
Oh.
It was this thing from the 30s. I was really sick. They were taking advantage of people who had no money in the Depression and telling them, dance as long as you can until you drop, and they who are still standing at the end wins the money.
Oh, no.
There's a very good Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode about it.
Really?
Where they've put up the bar as the prize by accident.
Oh, okay.
And they end up trying to sabotage each other by giving each other drugs. And then one person builds an exoskeleton that can keep them standing. Meanwhile, the whole time, Dennis is just trying to sleep with someone. And the actor playing that woman that he wants to sleep with is his real life wife.
Oh.
Or was it at the time? I don't know. That'll be next week's Correction Corner. Okay, so that's June. Gypsy Rose Lee, the real one, she was just like in the show. She was Louise's singing and dancing talents were insufficient to sustain the act without June, so she went into stripping, just like happens in Gypsy. Which is funny because they always say that it's like inspired by her memoirs. I don't know. Maybe it's just that they're worried that her real mother didn't have real fantasies where she was talking out loud on stage with a ghost light. I wouldn't be worried about that. They are. Her act became, she would talk to the audience. That was her thing. She was very funny and very witty, and she would talk to the audience just like she does in the show when she's like, "I'm an enthusiast," you know, and she would casually take things off. Like other people were bumping and grinding and doing like nasty dancing, and she would just be like, "I'm undressing," because that all started when she had a wardrobe malfunction and her dress just fell off, and she was like, "Oh," and tried to cover herself up, and people were like, "Ooh, that natural thing of a woman looking actually scared or something." That's good. Do it again.
It's dark.
I mean,
I guess better than just the overt bump and grind, but
I mean, people have the right to do their bump and grind. We're not going to be grind shaming. She was indeed called an ecdesiast, which I think is funny, by someone, and she was parodied in Pal Joey in the number Zip. Did you ever see Pal Joey?
Mm-mm.
Honestly, I'm a bad gay. I had never seen it either, but I looked up this number. It's got this fantastic lyric only in the movie version where she goes, "Marilyn Monroe looks dandy in mink. She not only acts, I hear she can think."
Oh.
So David Merrick bought the rights to the memoirs after reading a chapter of it that was in Harper's. He got Ethel Merman and Jerome Robbins involved. Jerome Robbins was coming off of West Side Story. Robbins got Leland Hayward, and I was like, who the Hayward is that? He's evidently a big producer whose other big hit opened that same year, 1959, Sound of Music.
Oh.
Also about a performing family, but with some differences.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'd like to see that mashup, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Sound of Stripping?
Yeah.
I would too. They got Arthur Laurents for the book, because we mentioned last time was a total cunt. But so was Jerome Robbins. Evidently Jerome Robbins was just terrible to people. He was a bisexual. Well, I guess that's not related, but he was. Then they went about, so they had to figure out who was going to be the songwriter. They asked Irving Berlin and Cole Porter. They both turned it down. And Robbins had just worked with Sondheim on West Side Story, and so he got Sondheim to do the score for that. But Merman's agent was like, nah. She and he didn't want an unproven composer at the time, because Stephen Sondheim had only been a lyricist. He had never he hadn't done Forum yet, although he had been already writing songs for Forum at this time. Evidently, Forum began in the early 50s. A whole bunch of other stuff he had to do happened and then came out much later. So Merman got Jule Stein to do it at the last minute. And they asked Sondheim to do the lyrics still, and he was like, no. But then he was convinced by Hammerstein, who said he really should have the experience of writing for a star. I remember last time we were like, you said it was Rogers at one point that was friends with him. Well, I mean, of course it was Hammerstein that was his neighbor and got him to be all these things and do this career. But it was Rogers that he ended up doing Do I Hear a Waltz with, of course, because after Hammerstein died, he did this like for Hammerstein. He was like, I'm going to do this other show for Hammerstein. Funny little trivia, John Kander did the dance arrangements for Gypsy. Oh. And this actor, Merle Louise, was in it. She played Thelma. I don't know who that is in Gypsy. It's one of them. It might be one of the girls. She is the only performer to originate 4 tracks in Sondheim shows. So she originated Thelma and Gypsy, Susan and Company, The Beggar Woman in Sweeney Todd, and Cinderella's mother, the grandmother, and the giant in Into the Woods. So 6 roles in 4 Sondheim shows, and she's the original. Merle Louise. Bernadette Peters was in the second national tour. She played, that just says she also played Thelma / Hawaiian Girl. So I would love to see what that is. I think it might be a girl in the Uncle Jocko hour at the beginning holding a ukulele. Of course, Bernadette Peters also played Rose in 2003 on Broadway. And people were like, oh, she can't do that. She's a Cupid doll and Rose is supposed to be this like steamroller of a person. But I think it makes a lot of sense.
I saw that one. I thought it was great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I wish I could have seen her as Hawaiian Girl. What if they're like Bernadette Peters in Gypsy? She just comes on for 2 minutes. Like,
Bernadette Peters as, what's that character that sings Bally High?
Oh, shit. I don't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it makes sense that Rose could be a Cupid all-looking person because that's like what the act she's always making for June. So like, it's also really powerful when you see someone who looks like they're supposed to be sweet be really tough instead.
Yeah.
Tyne Daly did it in the 80s. Angela Lansbury, and of course the really good TV movie with Bette Midler, which you've seen, right?
Yes.
Biggest Bette fan I know.
Huge fan over here.
I rewatched it for this. It's much better than the movie that came out in 1962 with Rosalind Russell, which is horrific. They do a lot of things in there that make no sense. Like, it's not Tulsa that ends up running off with June and therefore breaking the heart of Louise. It's one of the other ones. It's like Oklahoma City or somebody.
That was Topeka. You did it.
I know, right? Topeka Mockingbird. So all those were like almost always directed by Arthur Laurents, which is interesting because he was really jealous of Jerome Robbins having this credit in the original that was like entire production choreographed and directed by Jerome Robbins. And Arthur Laurents was like, you're an asshole and I'm a bigger asshole and we're going to fight over this forever. So one of the things that people point out about this show, let me talk about, no. So one of the things that people talk about with this...
Scratch that.
Yeah, well, that's what Kevin's for. He will edit that. It's a show about a show. I remember studying in college music theater, and somebody pointed out that the greatest musicals are ones about the theater. And it's because you get to have all those diegetic moments, where the character knows they're singing.
These words.
That's what that word means.
Word. Wow.
Isn't it? So diegetic is I'm Baby June singing the Baby June song on vaudeville, as opposed to I'm a character who's been moved to sing and I wouldn't know that I'm singing really. So that's why Follies, Funny Girl, Phantom, anything with an F is usually really good. It makes a lot of sense.
Phenomenal.
And then this one, somebody pointed out in the book Sondheim's Broadway Musicals that a lot of the lyrics are diegetic fantasy. Like, all I need is the girl. That's a fantasy number that Tulsa's doing. And Rose's turn, it's a fantasy in her head of a diegetic number. Rose is one of the first truly complex characters in musical theater. And that means that she's sometimes, like, she's got a lot of contradictions about herself. She does one thing and then another. She'll turn on a dime. She will sing something while thinking another thing. Like, she has a lot of subtext, which is interesting, as opposed to, we were talking about Oklahoma and the integrated book musical about how before things were very unrelated to each other.
Right.
The next step was related to each other. And then the next step after that was figuring out how to make characters as deep as they are in plays, in musicals. I don't know why people just didn't jump all the way to that. It seems like you have all the pieces there. Shakespeare did a lot of that work for you. And people call her a monster. I don't think she's a monster. Do you?
I don't think she's a monster. No, I mean, I think she's aggressive. She does some, monstrous things.
Like what?
I mean, I was going to say in general, having your children or all of these people that you, where are the other children's parents? I guess that's what I've always wondered, the other kids in the act.
Well, in the stage version, she steals them with her car. She straight up kidnaps them.
Okay, so there we go. That's a monstrous thing.
Oh, I guess that is. We forgive it because it's funny. But, yeah, that would be not okay if it was a dude. Right?
Yeah, it's still not okay that it's a lady.
Don't get in a van if somebody pulls over on the side of the road, and don't get in a flivver. Well, maybe get in a flivver if it's a woman. She'll give you chow mein. I also think she's just kind of like showbiz. I get it. I get a lot of the decisions she's making.
She's doing what she's got to do.
She's an actor at heart, and she's a stage mom, and I think of her a lot more like Mother Courage. She's really like Mother Courage, doing these things that you go, oh, what an awful thing, but what choice did she have, What would you do? Also, Jerome Robbins directed Mother Courage on Broadway. So Why didn't they put any of that shit in Jerome Robbins' Broadway, huh? Why didn't we see any of those war scenes with the corpses in that?
Dancing corpses.
I mean, the question is whether or not my sister would have cast them correctly. So then there's Herbie, who is described as seedy but honest, which is, I would love for that. If that's what they put on my tombstone, that's what I'm always going for. Interestingly, it's called Gypsy, a musical fable, which I find very confusing. It's not a kid's show. I don't know what's a fable about it. Is it just that, like,
Fable.
Showbiz is dirty, but if you get dirty, you can get money in the end, but you'll lose your kids? There's a lot of shows that I looked it up. I was trying to figure out if somebody had written about a musical fable. Instead, I just found a ton of other shows that are like blank blank, a musical fable. It's popular. I guess it's, I don't know why they chose that. I guess we could ask Arthur Laurents, but I will not talk to him. And then what's really fantastic about this show is the overture. People consider the overture to be possibly the greatest overture ever. And it's because it's got this brass led thing that was revolutionary for its time. It didn't sound like an operetta. Back then, all the overtures sounded like operetta overtures. This one does not. It's like, ba, ba, ba. You know, it's really exciting.
1, 4, 1, 5.
Yeah. And there's this, it's got this trumpet section during the stripper music that was played by this guy that would like stand up in the orchestra and blast it. You'll hear like this trumpet solo. It's like, you know, like he's doing this cool thing, and then like every recording is slightly different of it because it's you know, it's slightly improvised jazzy sort of thing. And evidently it was the loudest thing that anybody had ever heard in a theater.
They like lifted him up out of the pit, or he just like stood?
No, the pit was,
like
remember back then the pit, you could see the people in it a little bit. I think you can, depending on the house anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was before Jesus Christ Superstar where they put them in another building. Or I think that was the way first. What?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they did. They at least covered them up so that they sounded like they were in a studio for the first time. But that was before microphones were really good. It was a whole mess.
Oh, wow.
I guess we'll save that for when we get to Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay, perfect.
Mess of microphones. And I love that thing, speaking of 1415, it's got that that suspended chord xylophone thing where it goes ba, 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 at the beginning. Yes. And it's like the same thing from Funny Girl, but it also sounds like all this stuff from Porgy and Bess. There's like this thing in overtures about doing high suspended chord arpeggios with a xylophone. And I looked it up. It's interestingly enough, it's in 5/8, and then it listessos to eighth triplets while they build that brass pyramid. And I don't know how somebody reading it is supposed to know that that's what it's supposed to sound like if you hadn't heard it before. Everybody, I'm sure, that would sit down and read that for the first time would totally mess it up. And then the overture used to have that Caroline song in it. It used to have moo cow, a new cow, true cow.
Oh.
And they cut it out. One would love to hear that though. They said it was too long. And so then I forget which orchestrator it was that was working on it. Oh man, I was going to look that up before this. They were like, make it shorter. And he was like, but then how do I get from You'll Never Get Away From Me to Small World? And Jule Stein said, put a drum roll in it. So in the middle of the overture is a drum roll in the middle of nowhere that we've always accepted as just being an artistic choice. And it wasn't. Evidently, it was just duct tape. And a weird fact, they used to have these 4 extra notes in at the beginning for strings and piano, and they put it back in the 2003 recording, so it's like bum 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 bum. It's just bizarre to hear something where you're like, why did they cut those 4 notes? And then you hear the 4 notes and you go, oh, that's why they cut the 4 notes. That's what it was starting to sound more like the operetta style thing than the big brassy thing that they were going for. Of course, it has some of the most famous, most wonderful songs ever put into a musical. Let Me Entertain You, who had original lyrics at one point of, let's go to the movies, just like Annie. Oh. Annie the movie. Yeah. Let's go to the movies, let's go see the show. Yeah. And it's brilliant because the lyrics go from being creepy that just children to then being sung by a stripper with all this like dirty double meaning, and then you look back on children singing it and you're disgusted with yourself. Then there's Some People, which is fucking brilliant. So I noticed it's got this thing. All right, let's see. It's got this really interesting scale in it because it's like. So that's this scale that's. Do you know what that scale is called?
No.
The Hungarian Gypsy scale.
Oh.
Jule Stein did that one on purpose. It's actually really complex harmonically all over the place. And it's got the reprise, which is the road to L.A. That's where she's stealing the children. It's very, I don't know, gingerbread, Hansel and Gretel sort of thing when you get down to it. But funny. People online have all been ragging about Goldstone not being a great song, which I think is so unfair. I think it's such a great song.
I mean, I sing it every time I order Chinese food, so.
Yeah, you're like, can I have a gallstone, a yellow, a blue, a cherry, a lychee? Have two. And then Little Lamb. Now, Little Lamb is an interesting song. It's kind of brilliant. Sondheim, if you look at it on paper, it's like 10 lines. There's almost hardly any lyric there. All you have to do is like take a noun and then you make it rhyme, like a animal, and then come up with a rhyme for it. Like, little owl, do you have an irritable bowel? Little snake, I drowned my brother in a lake. Little dog, I watched Tulsa shave his hog. You know, also, it could have gone on and on. And in the movie, she's so sad, and this is also in the Bette Midler version, so maybe it's in the stage play and I just forget it. She's sad and upset about her birthday because her mother just faked being raped by the landlord.
Oh, God, I forgot about... Okay, there's so many monstrous things.
That's a monstrous thing.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's hard to forgive her, knowing what we know now. Like, that's bad for everybody. And I think we just have to admit that the movie isn't good. The Rosalind Russell one. And I'm sure some gays are going to be upset at me for saying that. But Little Lamb is a really sweet song. It really gets to me every time I hear it. Except for that last thing at the end where she's like, Little Lamb! And I'm like...
This is my big number.
Yeah, I mean, like, why would anyone finish a sentence with the subject? Would I be like, Caitlin, we're going to the store. Caitlin! I guess that kind of made sense. If it were little Caitlin. You'll Never Get Away From Me, which is a beautiful song that Kevin and I sing to each other all the time.
Ah, this is sweet.
As with most things, he's never bothered to learn the lyrics. And so then there's part of it where she's like, oh no, you don't, no, not a chance, no arguments, shut up and dance, right? There was a song in the show called Shut Up and Dance. Oh. So that was like a callback to that. And then they cut it. There's a lot of things like that. And then there's the Caroline sequence, which I think is so good. On the 2008... I don't mean so good as in, like, that's high art.
That's a phenomenal part of the show.
People are always talking about how Passion is really well written, but honestly, it's the Moo Cow song that really gets me. No. Exactly. Anybody can do that part. The recording, the 2008, the Patti LuPone recording, which I think is the best recording of this show ever. The woman, I don't know who it is, that plays Dainty June, that sings the Moo Cow, has this like head voicey thing where she like yodels through it. She's like, Moo Cow and Moo Cow. I fucking love it. I lose my shit for it every time. And then If Mama Was Married, I love that song.
Strong one.
That is my earliest memory of a show tune, actually, was that song. Megan was in, my sister was in...
My sister.
Was in Gypsy at the Delray Beach Playhouse. She played the Balloon Girl, which also, what is the Balloon Girl's act? What is she going to do?
Strip.
Is she a stripper?
That's the youngest stripper.
Is she like Edna Krabappel? She's got a cigarette. She's got to pop them. You give me fever. But she's like 9? Because that's gross, Arthur Laurents. You're fucked up. And I think it has just the prettiest waltz and some of the funniest lyrics in it, which is good because All I Need Is the Girl is after that, and I just think it's so long and boring. It does nothing for me. Maybe it's because do I not like...
Yeah, you haven't like a bias to it. You can't listen to a man want a girl.
Oh, that's it.
Discovered that's what it is.
That's right. I'm just like, this is so heteronormative. It makes me want to puke. No, I just, for some reason, I understand the function that it has to make Louise fall in love with Tulsa, who will then run off with her sister, so that she realizes that men are trash, life is not worth living, and that it's okay if she shows her taters for money. But I don't fall in love with him the way that she does. Even though it's fine, it's like just very long. And then there's Everything's Coming Up Roses. This is the example of a character singing something but thinking another thing. She's fucking devastated at the moment. That's when June has left her and the act is finished. And she's trying to cheer herself up. She's like going to use the power of music theater to turn it all around for herself. But at the same time, she's still absolutely crushed. She's just willing things to be. But the song, if you looked at it on the surface, is just a positive, happy number, you know? Like, it doesn't say anything like, and that'll show June, that stupid bitch, you know? Well, I don't know if that's what she would say about her daughter. Well, she might. She's kind of show busy. But Herbie and Louise get it. They're back behind her. They're not persuaded by this number at all. They're horrified. They're watching from a distance because they want to quit show business. They want to go get a picket fence and do something like give that monkey a pasture to live in. By the way, what's with the monkey? I don't know. And then it disappears. So that's an example of Sondheim. Really, he says to himself that he says in his book that he's very satisfied with where he is in his lyric writing capabilities at this point, because he's done something that has more than one level on it. It's not just I'm communicating something and that's how I feel. It's I'm feeling something and trying to do something else at the same time. Which is then followed by Together Wherever We Go, which is just hilarious. It's got that lyric, whatever the boat I row, you woe, a duo, whatever the row I hoe, you hoe, a trio, and any IOU, IO, you owe, who me owe, no you owe, no we owe, together, right?
Yes.
I guess it makes a lot less sense when one person's singing it, but and then it has these the orchestration on it is so good. It's got these like harmonics that come in on the reprises at just like really, really high up, that I could just listen to that over and over again. It moves me for some reason. And then there's You Gotta Get a Gimmick, which is one of the funniest songs ever written, mainly because it says, if you're going to bump it with the trumpet.
Yeah.
That's a great line. Right. It's elegant. Like
I love the, you could hurt your sacro working in the back row.
Yeah.
Just a good one.
That's a look up.
Yeah. I still always refer to my sacrolumbar as my sacro, and usually have to do that full line when doing it.
I just let that one go by and forget the word instantly because I don't know what it means. You just taught me.
Yep, there you go.
I assumed it was a part of the body, but there's a lot of parts of the body. Want to see some of mine? Anyway, then there's Rose's Turn, the big penultimate number of the show. Interestingly enough, Sondheim and Robbins actually wrote this one. Because it's like they needed a big song for the climax, but they weren't getting anywhere on making a new one, like a whole new song. So Sondheim had this idea to make it like the score is falling down around her. It's like a lot of songs chopped up and put together, you know? It's like some of Everything's Coming Up Roses and other songs. And this is a tactic that he uses in Follies and Passion, and people have used in other shows like Evita. That's like, how do we show the person's losing it? We show bits and pieces of their memories. I think they do it in Cabaret too, in the original stage version. So they made their version of it where like Sondheim was like sitting at the piano sewing all these things together, and they gave it to Jule Stein, who was like, that's cute, kids, I'll make the final version. And it's got this famous like, Mama's talking loud, Mama's blah, 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 which is supposed to be a recall to a song, but it's a song they cut called Mama's Talking Soft. It was supposed to be sung by Baby June and Baby Louise as counterpoint during Small World, and it's adorable. I have found the Petula Clark recording of it.
Oh, great!
Which couldn't be less adorable because it's like she's the mom and she's like Mama's talking stuff, but it's got this like a clinky sort of early 60s orchestration underneath that wall of sound thing. I encourage everyone to go listen to it. But, so you've heard it once. I found the sheet music for it. Mama's talking soft. Mama's got a plan. Mama's eyes are wide. Mama's seen a man. Mama's blushing pink, fluffing up her hair. Mama has a smile, and when she has a smile, no one else has a prayer. Mama's talking low. Mama's gonna win. Mama's moving slow. Mama's moving in. That when Mama's done, not a soul survives. Mama's talking soft. Everybody run for your lives.
When in the show was that?
So,
Is this if Mama was married?
No. This is during Small World. She's just met Herbie, right? So so the two girls are supposed to be watching their mom flirt with Herbie, but they only cut it because they had staged them up on this high platform, and the kid that played Baby Louise was too scared to go up there.
Oh.
Which is a hell of a reason to cut a song instead of change the staging.
Yeah, that's crazy. Were they just, I guess I didn't like this song enough?
I think so. I think it's cute and all, but I don't think Small World needs anything else.
That's fair.
I don't think it needs the comment. But that's why they got the moms talking about, I bet they were like, Mama's talking loud, probably, originally.
Nice.
But anyway, Rose's turn, back on that. If you haven't seen it, listeners out there, look up, and she's furious that this exists, Patti LuPone's performance of it on YouTube. It's a bootleg. It's absolutely illegal. It's still up on YouTube because YouTube is still the Wild West full of flat earther videos. It's a masterclass in music theater performance. It is. She's doing something in every 4 beats. She's having a different beat and using a different tactic. She's doing a billion things. She's directed by Arthur Laurents. And I remember her saying that like she had a really hard time getting it when she did it at Encores. And then they worked and worked and worked until she got this perfect version that we can all look at now. It blows me away every time I hear it. I forget if it was watching that or if it was watching Rosalind Russell's version. Another part where she's like, Mama, right?
Yes.
I remember being like, the fuck is that? Always, I was like, is she having a stroke? Is she, well, clearly she is, but is she forgetting how the words pronounced mama? I didn't know what was going on. And then it hit me. It says in the show that her mother left her. And so she's having a moment where all of this is actually, the reason why she's so possessive of her children, so domineering of them, is because her mother left her and she refuses to be the mother that leaves her children. And at this moment, she's like realizing that for a second, twice.
Oh, she's having like mama flashbacks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's having those mama flashbacks. Ooh, I'm feeling it today. It's 100 degrees, mama. And then, of course, they have that happy ending, sad ending.
Yeah.
Ambiguous.
Like, go Gypsy Rose Lee.
Yeah, Madame Rose and her stripper daughter. I think it all depends on the director, first of all. But I find it a little unsatisfying. But I guess that's, I don't know. They're trying to not make it a total tragedy or something, but they're also not making it a happy ending. They're still, depending on how it's directed, they're still together. They like walk off arm in arm or something like that. But what's going to happen for Rose next? Probably nothing. That's probably the end of Rose's career, you know?
They're like, oh yeah, no, Rose is done.
Rose is
They
done.
could be like walking her into the old person's home. You don't really know.
Oh yeah, I mean, they walk her right out of the theater and into the street where she's hit by a bus. Whatever kind of bus they had in the 40s. A leaded gas bus. They're even heavier because of all those heavy metals. And that's Gypsy.
That's all you need to know about Gypsy.
That's all there is to know about Gypsy. If anybody says there's anything else, they're lying to you.
Will, you were just in California for a week.
I was
Tell me all about it.
What can I say except that it's much cooler there than it is here, which is fucked up. Although one of the things that was weird is I looked at the weather app on my phone and know how it'll say like cloudy or rainy or something like that.
Yeah.
The type of weather it had was unhealthy air quality.
Oh, that's been doing that in New York too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
that's good.
It's everywhere.
I have those air purifiers just for that. Because my house used to smell. We're next to a Chinese restaurant, and sometimes it would come in through the windows, or Kevin would bring it in.
Kevin.
But I did go to this really cool bookstore, the Sideshow Bookstore, which is one of those places where you look at it on the outside and you're like, oh, is this it? You know? It's like, yes, it is. And then you go inside, and it is absolutely like a lot like the bookstore from LLO. Like, it's
amazing.
Things are arranged in interesting ways. Like, there was, they had a section on opera, and there was all this musical stuff in it. And I was like, that's not the same thing. But I stole the stuff anyway. Well, no, I paid for it. I bought it. I got Our Musicals Ourselves, Social History of American Musical Theater, with the foreword by Sheldon Harnick. Hope he's not too forward. And then they had a whole bunch of T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral, which looks interesting. And since I just did all that cat stuff, I was like, wonder what T.S. Eliot, the good writer, is like. He wrote this in verse. I got House of Blue Leaves by John Guare, A Place for Us, an essay on Broadway musicals by D.A. Miller, which clearly whoever owned this before never, ever opened or read. The Making of West Side Story, so I guess I'm doing West Side Story.
Great.
I mean, look out, West Side Story. I hate the dancing. And
oh, that'd be a thrilling episode.
I just don't buy it. They're supposed to be tough guys, but they're dancing.
Tough men dance.
Everybody has their line. Some people are like, I can't watch a musical because they're singing and they're supposed to be whatever. For me, it's the like, I can't watch a musical where you're doing ballet while being like, I'm tough. It makes no sense to me. And the chorus line in the musicals of Michael Bennett, which I couldn't help but already crack open and read a bit about. Evidently, he was a bit of a jerk too. It's going around. He had some party for the performance of a chorus line where it went to being the longest running show on Broadway, where they made this amazing performance of a chorus line that used every person that had ever been in it in any production anywhere in the world, like from all the tours and all the other countries that had been in. Obviously not everybody was able to do it, and there was one or two people they didn't invite, but it was like over 300 people were in this version of it. And they had a party in Schubert's Alley where they had to have, I think, 25 pounds of caviar. That part stuck with me. That just seems like a lot of fish eggs.
That's a lot of caviar.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, I've been up to nothing, like literally nothing. So, my mom was in town. Saw Mom.
Oh yeah,
that's good. Pam came up from North Carolina.
Did you tell her you have a podcast now?
Yes, she was sent it. I don't know if she listened to it.
Well, we have some subscribers now.
Yes. So if she's out there, Mom, thanks for subscribing.
I'm not telling my mom about this one. I want to keep her love.
Oh, I've pushed my mom's love to the limits, just with the horrendous things she has to hear about.
Honestly, you're a good girl. You are. You shouldn't.
I'm a good girl.
You're a good girl. I'm a pretty girl, Mama.
Mama.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, YouTube, and Instagram. And write to us at sundayintheheightswithdolly@gmail.com.